dropped out of college, and your highest...
Community college.
Sorry, your Harper College experience. I apologize.
Barely was smart enough to make it through community college.
Okay, so...
Barely made it through high school,
your
too.
highest degree level is an honorary doctorate degree from Liberty University.
No, that's true. I do have an honorary PhD.
Yeah. So essentially, what are your qualifications for arguing that college is a scam, or really having any economical knowledge at all, when likely the vast majority of the students here know more than you about economics as a whole?
Okay, so... no, hold on. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Who's Milton Friedman?
Who's Milton Friedman? I have no idea, and it's not important to this conversation.
Who is Ludwig von Mises?
These are all probably economists, and the same
who
thing.
Who is John Maynard Keynes?
Okay, obviously I know who Keynes is.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He's the most famous economist of all time.
You don't know Milton Friedman?
I mean, that's an economist.
Okay, how about Murray Rothbard?
That's another economist.
F.A. Hayek?
I don't know who that is.
Well, then you just came here and insulted my intelligence. You're right, I barely made it through community college because I was too busy, starting a national youth movement with hundreds of thousands of members.
Hey, hold on, though. Hold on.
Employing hundreds of people, raising hundreds of millions of dollars,
yes,
having a top 10 most popular podcast,
sure,
and reaching tens of millions of people online every day.
Sure,
but hold on.
But you're also calling all of your constituents idiots by saying they participate in a scam. Their shirt's right there.
I'm
College
calling
is
the
a scam.
Institution a scam.
So then
I never insulted the intelligence. I just had 10 people come up and we had warm conversations. So you asked, what are my qualifications? I'm a job creator, entrepreneur, autodidact. Do you know what that word means? Self-taught. Yeah, self-taught. You should probably learn that word if you're going to come up and insult other people's intelligence.
Hey.
So autodidacticism is what Leonardo da Vinci was. You don't have to go to college to be wise. You don't have to go to college to be intelligent. I read 100 books a year. I visit over 150 colleges.
I'm not saying you're unintelligent. I'm just saying you lack qualifications.
Well, are you a New York Times bestseller?
Of course not. I'm in college.
Got it. So I'm just trying. What are my qualifications? I have published books, read lots of books, dialogued with a lot of people, and instead of asking what my qualifications are, can you name one thing I've ever said that? Hold on. Name one thing I'm wrong about.
You literally just now incorrectly cited the difference between socialism and communism. While you yourself...
How so? What did I do?
How so? You claimed that Russia was socialist. Russia was never socialist.
The Soviet Union was socialist.
No, it was a communist nation. There is a significant difference between the two.
Why did Lenin say that socialism is the gateway to communism, and he was self-described socialist in his private treatise and documents in the Russian Revolution?
Lenin was overtaken by Stalin.
Hold on a second. No, Lenin died, and then Stalin was his successor.
Yes.
But Lenin himself said, quote, that socialism is the introductory phase to communism. Did he not say that?
So then the vast majority of people, when they're referring to communist Russia, are referring to Stalin's rule over Russia. That was a communist rule that turned into a fascist rule later on.
Okay, so but what thinker was deified in Soviet Russia?
What thinker was deified?
Yes.
Marx.
Oh, and what book did Marx write?
Yes, he wrote Capital, and he also wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Who was his co-author?
Who was co-author?
Yeah, Engels. Good. I'm glad college is really paying off for you.
Hey.
But it's okay. It's fine. He comes up here and insults my intelligence. What are your qualifications? Doesn't even know the co-author of the Communist Manifesto or Das Kapital. But no, let me just...
But does my lack of knowledge on that mean that I have no knowledge? Again, is that the same thing? You came up here and
insulted me. And you came up here guns a-blazing, man. And let me just ask, again, what did I say that was wrong? I said that under the generally agreed upon definition of communism and socialism, which are interchangeable terms, one is a more harsh degree of the other, is that the elimination of the family, the elimination of private property, and the deprivation of basic human rights such as right to speech, right to assembly, and right to worship. How is that not a good definition of communism or socialism?
That explains the fascism better.
Well, but in the Communist Manifesto, Marx said, quote, "We are here to destroy the nuclear family and eradicate the family because it was the original oppressive, tyrannical structure." He said religion is the opiate of the masses and that private property must be eradicated. I have just now documented all three of those with evidence back to original source documents. And then in practice, Russia did all those three things when they were the Soviet Union. So where am I wrong?
But then at the same time, if you claim that those are all negative things, then why do you practice certain things in the doctrines that you just stated?
Well, I'm not trying to take people's stuff away. I want people to have bigger families, and I want churches to remain open.
Yeah, but the thing is
your
biggest point that everyone here is for is that you're a potential white supremacist. So
What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man. How do you know?
Because I have eyes.
Because you have eyes. That's
And
not
I
a
have
description.
reason. So what can a black person do that I can't do in America? Or
What can a
vice
black
versa?
person do?
What can I
So,
do a black person can't do, I should
Let's
say?
think of some history right here. Let's go
No,
through
no,
the
no,
history
no,
of redlining.
I don't need a history. I don't need
Yes,
listen.
no,
You're talking about white
You do
privilege.
need a history lining. Clearly,
No,
you need a history
I know you're
lesson.
talking points better than you do, and I've read all the literature that you have. I've probably forgotten more about the literature.
History affects the present day as well, and you know that's true. If you went to college, you would know.
Well, hold on a second, but let me.
So then why are you wearing the college is a scam shirt? Drop out.
Well, because you could.
So it's because you don't believe your own beliefs, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, you can admit something's a scam and still get through it. That's why he's wearing it. Okay.
Then why?
You could feel like you're getting ripped off by an airline
But
and still
anyways,
want to get to
that's
New York.
not what we're talking
okay?
about anymore.
Like you're like, I'm getting ripped off by a $1,000 ticket, but you still get on the airplane. Like it doesn't make you a hypocrite. It means that the people are ripping you off, and a lot of you are getting ripped off. But no. So as far as white privilege, just without the history lesson of Jim Crow, segregation, imperialism, colonialism, slavery, all the stuff that I know that you're going to say. But just concretely, in America today, what can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal.
In fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to. No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I've worked for a Congressman, Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me shit. Go ahead.
So,
I'd like to disagree with you
right,
about college as a scam.
Okay.
Just because there's 50% of people who you say don't need college to get a job, why would it be a scam? There's a social impact about college, on America. College is, good.
The majority of kids that go to college when they graduate have a lower view of America than when they entered. Do you think that's a troubling thing?
I think just changing your opinion doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think that college teaches responsibility and hard work and?
Sure.
Okay, well, I find that hard to believe. Why is it that employers are more and more not wanting to hire college graduates and they actually want to hire people that didn't go to college?
What employers?
You can name them out, man. Walmart just got rid of their, even in their corporate level, so you don't need to go to college. Koch Industries, one of the largest employers in the country, from Georgia Pacific Railroad to Dow Chemical. They said we no longer want kids that have gone to college because they end up causing problems because they're super entitled and they're like, oh, what are my pronouns? And they have all this like left-wing nonsense that they've been filled with.
Well, then you have engineers, doctors, lawyers, people that
Sure, we need that, but that's less than 20% of the people that go to college.
Yeah, but
college is
it'd
an
be wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. Lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's
able
not
to
what
really
college
help the
currently
world.
is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money that they're borrowing. The vast majority. Of course, there's exceptions. You can make whatever you want with your life. I mean, you could. But I mean, when you enter into an enterprise, you need to know that you are.
Most people that go into college
let
make
me
more
prove this
money
to
at
you.
the end.
How many of you guys have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you wouldn't have to take? Every single hand. You're being scammed against your will to take classes that make you go further into debt. Why can't you say I don't want to take this class? Why as a customer you can't say?
Can you do a differential equation?
You what?
Can you do a differential equation?
Can I do
Can you explain to me the anatomy of a human?
like somewhat off the top of my head?
You know what psychology is.
Yes, I do know what psychology.
Okay,
I've read
can you
Freud and I've read
explain
Jung.
it to me?
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain it to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a second.
master's.
Time out. I've sat here with no notes, no phone, and debated people with
Yeah, because
PhDs,
you study
masters.
this because it's your job.
Hold on. I didn't go to college, man. That's the point. Is you could do whatever you want without a college degree. You can listen to podcasts, read books. You
think
don't
about
need
if
to
Gauss
go.
wasn't able to go to the University of Göttingen. That's literally the reason.
I can't hear what you said. What'd you say?
You know Gauss, right? Mathematician.
Yes, vaguely, sure. Okay.
Vaguely.
Yes, vaguely, yeah.
Oh,
Do you know who
okay.
Milton Friedman is? Do you know who Herbert Marcuse is? You know who Thomas Sowell is?
Do you use a phone?
Do you know who Gouverneur Morris is?
Well, that's 'cause of Gauss.
No, you don't. So I could do gotcha too.
Like
so
Euler
before you try to
went
get
going
off
to
your ivory
university
tower
is the
and understand
reason
that not
he
everybody.
was able to become so proficient in mathematics.
So here's
and
the
change
thing.
the world.
The majority of kids that go to
Most
college
people
are
that get
more depressed than when they
PhD
enter.
degree are able
Secondly,
to perform much better in their field than someone who doesn't.
Well, then, if that's the question, if that really is true, if
Well,
college is this amazing accelerant, then why do so
I
many
wouldn't say
people?
it is accelerant, but if you're looking at a field of science,
let
right?
me finish, man.
And you want to
Have you taken a
accelerate that field of
communication course,
science,
or have you not done that yet?
need a degree.
All right, let me make my point. If that's the case, why do half of these kids end up with anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, and they end up getting a job that says, "Oh, sorry, you never needed the degree in the first place"? Why is that the case? Tell me.
People on average, once going to college, make more money.
Hold on, that's not true. They end up getting a job.
That is.
No, that's only if they graduate and it depends on the field of study. Do you know the average college graduate now is getting a job at $61,000 a year. The average plumber after 18 months, $68,000 a year.
Well,
the
sure,
average
but the
welder,
plumber isn't able to
$72,000 a
study
year.
with peers.
The plumber didn't go to college. The plumber went to trade or technical school. There's 11 million job openings that do not require a college degree in this country.
Well, who
11
engineered
million.
the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sorry, what?
Who engineered the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sure someone here. I mean, that it's like
someone with a
it's like
degree
saying who
from
designed
college.
the airplane for the pilot to fly. I mean,
Someone with a degree that went to college. Pilots go to
I'm not
college.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying you get rid of all places of higher learning. The way it's currently comprised for you guys, the amount of debt you have to go into, the
Well,
classes
you
that
say
you have to
don't
take.
get rid of places of higher learning, but then you go on to
you're
say
interrupting me
college
every
is a
15
scam.
seconds. You're not debating in good faith because it is a scam. So let me ask you a question. Can you point to other things of American life the last 100 years that have been scams? For example, when they run an advertisement, they say buy these pills because we're going to make you super muscular, and they don't have all the fine print that it might not work, and you have to have a monthly subscription. We shut down that business for being
That's
a
a little
scam.
different, though. That's a
How is
product.
it different? Hold on a second. When you show up to college, did they tell you have to take all these classes that you didn't sign up for? Did they? It said that you're going to have to take all these different classes. Did they tell you that half of you guys would not ever use your degree when you go into your career? How many of you guys knew that? You guys knew that when you signed up?
Well, college
knew
is
that.
what you
then
make of
you
it,
guys
right?
You guys are willingly participating in the scam. Good for you. The point is this, is that most kids know deep down they're getting ripped off. The number one thing I hear from people across the country in corporate America, boy, college is a waste of time. Boy, I wish I never would have gone. Now I have $60,000 in debt, $70,000 in debt. I wanted to start a business, but now I don't have the credit to do it. Instead, we are wasting our most prized possession, our 18 to 22-year-olds, to go stick them at many universities when they shouldn't be here in the first place. And it is a failed project. It is making us poorer. And by the way, just look at the actual numbers over a period of time. Has it worked? Is homeownership now going up for young college
Well,
graduates?
how are we going to blame that on college, though?
There's
a lot of different
it is the
reasons that
most
people are not
equally
able to buy
applicable.
homes.
It's the most equally applicable thing across the board for a
I wouldn't
generation.
say so.
And if you look at the average, how much debt do you have to go to school, by the way?
None.
None. Okay, wow. Are you on scholarship or?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's paying for your college then?
probably the federal government.
Okay, so I'm paying for your college, is what you're saying. My taxes are paying for your college. So wait, you're on grant or what?
I'm not going to discuss my college finances with
Well, no,
you.
this is really important. This is why you're so defensive of college.
Yeah.
This is why you're so forceful, because you don't have to walk around the rest of your life with $100,000 student
I know
loan debt.
plenty of people that
because-
have part-time
hold on a second.
jobs and go to college.
This explains you perfectly. I, the taxpayer, when I write my check to the IRS, I'm subsidizing your ability to go to college.
Okay. When
And I
I
think that's a
write
huge
my
mistake,
check to the
'cause-
IRS, I
'cause
also give money for people to go to college.
You should have skin in the game. You should, and you don't right now. You are doing a freeloading thing. Of course, you should be defensive of
I
college.
pay taxes. I pay federal taxes.
Yeah,
I pay state taxes.
I'm
Well,
sure I
state-
pay a
state
little bit more
income
than you, but
taxes,
that's a separate issue. But the point is this:
That's
that
probably true.
you think you pay anywhere close to the tuition value you get at the school? Probably not.
Yeah, probably I do. It's like $5,000 a semester. It's a lot of money, but you get a lot out of
Wait,
that.
hold on. How much is it to go to school here?
It's around 5,000
So in-state.
in-state. Yeah.
Okay, did that include room and board and tuition?
No.
Okay, how much does that cost?
Room, board, tuition, all of it's around 11,000.
11,000 a semester. So you pay $22,000 a year in taxes?
No.
Okay, got it. So you're in a tax deficit, which means the U.S. taxpayer is subsidizing your education. That's fine. I'm not faulting you for it, but this is why you're so defensive, is you're detached from the price. You're detached from the cost. It's easy to be defensive of something you're not paying for.
Hey, Kirk. My question is sort of a question/compliment. You're a very good public speaker. And I think a lot of people here might struggle with that. What I'm curious is somebody with so little education beyond high school, and just experience in the field. How are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit, right? You said pretty much every question you've answered has been no answer. You've just kind of said what conservatives want to hear. So really all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias. So
Want to have a
debate? Sorry?
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned.
You sure?
Where you learned how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said. Yeah. Come on, let's debate.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No,
that's not my question.
you're just here to insult me.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
You're a hero.
Where did you learn how to public speak? Because you're really good at lying out of your ass.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about. Name
stats.
Name a second thing. No, name a stat. I said that's wrong.
You said 11 million jobs. You said 50%.
Yes,
of this
11
room.
million jobs are open for blue-collar work according to Mike Rowe and according to 3 independent studies according to the Department of Labor. Name another stat I said that's wrong.
I guess my main point
No, name a
is
third stat that I
when
said that's wrong.
When you say a stat or you just say numbers, it's helpful usually when you're public speaking to say where you got that information. Because people who disagree with you might not
So
think you're
give me,
credible.
no, but you give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
Wait, hold on, no, but you come up here and say, oh, how did you with a high school education learn to spew BS? Say one thing I said that was wrong, misleading, unfactual, not rooted in data. One
You're
thing.
doing it right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I was just making a comment and you're spinning it. That's what you're really good at. That's why I think you're a good
No, you
public
came up
speaker.
here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man. Like one number, like one thing. 11 million job openings according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics that require muscular labor and require just a 6-month technical training degree. That is true. At the apex, 15,000 people coming across the southern border every single day. I even said it's down a little bit. That is true. What have I said that's incorrect?
Wanna do next? You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
They don't want to debate me because they can't debate me. They can't say one thing I said that's wrong. They can't name one data point. They just come up here and insult. You, my friend, are why we are going to beat you guys historically, because you are afraid to have a debate. Just, it's so amazing, the smugness. How'd you learn to speak like this in word vomit? Oh, what'd I say that's true? Everything. Name one thing. Name another thing. Name another thing. Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. All right. Can two men have babies?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You say it's a natural law that I don't have a choice on who I marry. It's natural law that I don't choose who I marry. That's not fair.
No, hold on a
I think I
second.
choose who I marry.
Why does your own choice matter more than what is true?
So
What is true?
what do you mean
Exactly.
what is true?
That's what we've been
What
talking about the last 2 hours. What is true? What is good? What is beautiful? This is what you guys should be. This is what we should be thinking. Oh, does it come down to you? Come on. So let me ask you a question. So it comes down to you. Wait.
Hold it, let me hold it, come on.
No, we hold it. So was Hitler right when it comes down to you?
No,
Why?
because he just fundamentally disagrees with my beliefs about
Your beliefs, but
Exactly.
Hitler's beliefs killed the Jews. Why was he wrong?
Oh, sorry. Can I just quickly say something about how we just went from talking about the government controlling marriage to Hitler for some reason?
No, but
Can we finish talking
I've
about
listened to your
government
argument for
control?
20 minutes. It makes no sense. Totally respectful. Like, you've made no sense for 20 minutes. So I'm going to get to
Please,
somebody
guys,
else. So,
listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, all I've been talking about is the government controlling marriage.
I've been super
It's very
patient.
clear.
I've been super patient. Makes no sense.
But
So,
I can say things don't make
It's good.
sense all day. I mean, it's really not that hard.
yeah, got it. Okay, so just question. So, why was Hitler wrong?
Why was Hitler wrong? I mean, you can write a whole essay about that.
Well, tell me one sentence as to why Hitler was objectively wrong.
To me? I mean, to
No,
himself, he was right.
Of course he was. So there's something above you and above Hitler that we're comparing right to. What is that something?
Morality.
Where do we get that from?
how you come up, where you're from, your parents, your culture. I mean, the place you live. I mean, a lot of different
So
things.
are some moralities better or more right than wrong than other moralities?
I would say no, because it just comes down to you personally.
Okay, so the Taliban believes it's okay to rape 8-year-old boys called T-boys. Are they wrong?
To me, yes, they are wrong, but to themselves, they think it's right.
Is there... Are they objectively wrong?
Okay, what is an objective? What is the objective?
Well, hold on. Objectively, looking
According
outside,
to what?
right and wrong.
That comes down to me. And to me, they're wrong. But to them, they're right.
Wow.
I mean, what? That is how it is.
So let me ask you. So the Nazi guards at concentration camps, they thought they were doing right. Were they
Yeah.
doing right?
No.
In your opinion or objectively?
In my opinion, no.
But what if they were to say we were doing right?
Well, then we have an argument, me and them. And then we have a fight, and then we have a war, and then it is what it is. That's how it is.
When somebody goes and rapes a woman here on campus, are they wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because that is something you should not do.
Oh, so they should not do. Hold on a
should not
second.
do it.
You just did a should statement. You didn't do a should statement with the Taliban with little boys. What does should mean?
I mean-
What are you comparing should to?
Myself?
Are you?
Yes.
So it's your morality that
Yes.
triumphs over any objective laws.
I mean, not technically. I mean, at the end of the day, I can do whatever I want. I mean, I'll end up in jail. I'll end up, wherever I end up. But, it's whatever world you live in.
Is that the way we should design society? Everyone does what's ever right in their own eyes?
I mean, no, because it would be kind of chaos at the end of the day.
I agree. So then what standard should we then derive morality from other than opinion?
I mean, there's a lot of standards across the world. I mean, wherever you go, there's different life standards. I mean, the life standards we have here versus South America, Asia,
I
Africa,
agree.
it's all completely different.
Are some better than
I'm
others?
not done. Are some better than others? I mean, it comes down to where you're from. I think, wait, let me finish. I think the standard we have here in America is one of the best ones.
But now
And
you're
I
using
do
different
think-
words.
No, let me finish,
Should,
let me
best.
finish.
So some things are better than others. And then the question is, what is the ultimate good? You're climbing the ladder, you're getting closer.
It comes down to you.
Does it?
Yes, it does. What is the ultimate good? It's my world. I live in my own world with my things. What I think is good is what I think is good.
You don't understand that's one of the most narcissistic
Yes,
things.
it is. I'm a narcissist. So what? So what?
What if everyone acted the way you just articulated? What would that world look
I
like?
have no idea. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
So you probably agree that's a terrible world to
Yes,
live in.
it would be. But thank God not everybody's like me. Yes. Thank God.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
we have clarity. Thank you.
Yes, we do. You got anything else you want to talk about? There's a lot more.
I think I understand your worldview pretty well. All about me, no one be like me. You're
So what are you trying to get at, though? Is what I'm-
It's obvious, and I've been doing this the whole time. There is a transcendent, eternal, external morality.
So you're okay. So
that
you
exists.
Say, okay, so you say there is an objective good and an
Of
objective
course
bad.
there is, yes. And the denial of that is only something we entertain because of how insane modern culture has become.
How has it gone insane?
We say men give birth.
I don't say that.
The Biden administration does.
That's not me.
They say that chest feeding, I know, because it's all about you. I got that,
Yeah,
okay?
trust me.
So we've been through that. Only about you, right?
Yeah,
Center of the
yeah,
universe.
100%,
It's
100%.
Copernicus over
Yep.
here, right?
That's me.
So yes, we are now in a postmodern age
Uh-huh.
where it says in the scriptures, man will do what is ever right in his own eyes.
So the scripture is right.
Of course it is. Yes,
Says
but
who?
okay, says God, but I
Okay,
could get
wait,
through that.
Wait. What is a God?
Jehovah, Adonai, the oneness,
Okay,
ethical
okay.
monotheism that built the world you live in.
So an omnipotent being. is what you're trying to say.
Omnipotent, not omnipotent,
whatever.
but that's okay. So
Same thing, different way.
omnipotent, omniscient. I mean, I could get theological
Okay.
if you want, but even lesser than that, C.S. Lewis developed it called the Tao. Okay, so even this is more agreeable. I'm a
okay.
Christian, but almost any functioning culture has something called the way.
Gotcha.
Meaning that
Yes,
there is
that's
a
true.
better way of living than other ways.
Yeah.
And if you compare Confucianism, you compare Roman,
Yeah.
Greek,
There's always a way of life.
and it's very
Yeah.
similar, and they have some harmonies. and we must develop in the West what is the way. We have said to our kids, there is no way. Do whatever you want. Hate to say it, you articulated it beautifully. But
I mean, the way of life changed throughout time. I mean, to say there was one guaranteed best way to live, I mean, I feel like that's two-dimensional.
is it?
I'd say so. I mean, life is bigger than the two dimensions, black and white, good and bad.
I'm not saying it's good. There's hierarchies or nuances, but wouldn't it be worth spending some time wondering what is the best way to live?
I think about that all the time too, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just up to you. Honestly, I mean, live your life how you want to.
That's not the point. The agency is not that is the ought to. So the Greeks had a word for this called telos, where you get the word telescope from, far out in the distance, something that you should yearn towards or desire, the best way for humans to live. Now, I believe that's a Christian way. Some people might not agree with that.
Yeah.
But you cannot say that we should as a society acknowledge a way is necessary. The founders acknowledged it, where they said the laws of nature and nature is God. We hold these truths to be self-evident. So our whole civilization is built on an idea that there is a way, and we're now teaching our kids, no there isn't, do whatever you want. I'm saying that's really, really dangerous.
I have a question. Can this way change and evolve as time goes on?
It can adapt, but not necessarily for the better. And that's why Christianity is just as applicable today as it was 2,000 years ago. And the founders did not write the Constitution for the times. It was written to stand the test of time. Because as much as we try to convince ourselves, human beings don't really change. We're still self-interested, we still lie, we still cheat. That's why the Constitution has lasted. It's the longest lasting political document in history.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that absent an eternal standard, something transcendent.
There is a objective good that we should all strive for.
Yes, and we have to talk about what that is.
Sure. What is it? Let me know.
That's the question.
Okay.
I believe in the ultimate, it's Christ.
Okay.
But in the American context, it's ethical monotheism. That there is an ethical one God that administers a way for your life and you build a civilization on it.
Okay, the thing is, talking about Christianity, I mean, you know Nietzsche, God is dead.
You mean Nietzsche?
Nietzsche, whatever, God is dead. I mean, Christianity is a dying religion every single year. The numbers go down. And a while it's going to be gone.
Okay, so I'm going to try to save you here, man. Nietzsche lamented the death of Christianity, just so you know.
I've read Nietzsche, however you want to say it.
It's Nietzsche.
Whatever, big difference. I mean,
okay.
Either which
Did you read Beyond Good and Evil or Thus Spoke Zarathustra?
I've seen Ubers mention all that shit.
I love that video. Yeah, which one? Thus Spoke Zarathustra? Or Beyond Good and Evil? Beyond Good and Evil is a book. Maybe that'll be a video game too.
Okay,
but here's what Nietzsche said though.
Can I say my point real quick?
Okay.
So according to Nietzsche, God, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. God is dead according to him. Every single year, Christianity numbers fall, religion's dying.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay, I know, but one day, Christianity's going to be gone.
No.
Yes, it will be.
It'll be a remnant.
No, it will be a remnant. It will be a small little religion, but
this
it will
is
never
also
have the control it has in the government.
Maybe
today. Every single day, as
Christianity has ebbed and flowed before. It's gone from martyrdom into exile, into revival. Christianity looked like a dying religion in year 400 and year 1100.
That's true.
So, but you might be right, because in our scriptures it does say that we'll be persecuted and that our numbers will decrease and false prophets. So you might even be right. I'm not going to deny.
What I'm trying to say is, why build a whole culture around something that is going to perhaps die one day?
Well, first of all, we already built it.
And it's falling.
Is
it falling?
Yeah, is it falling because we're going towards Christianity or away Christianity?
That's just the natural way of things. I mean, the Greek religion fell, Rome fell. I mean, things come and go every day.
Wait, hold on. Do people still worship the Greek gods?
No, they do not.
Yeah, okay. Well, Christianity has staying power. And by the way, before you get too ahead of yourself, the gospel's spreading in Africa like never before. So Christianity's actually...
they said that years ago. They say that every
It's increasing worldwide. It's decreasing in America. But hold on to your point. What am I getting at? We could debate taxes and borders. None of this matters if we don't first acknowledge some form of something outside of ourselves needs to exist to have a good and free society. You don't have that. You're going to live in a really crummy, totalitarian country.
So you rely on a God to tell you what is good and bad?
Yeah, the God of the heavens and the earth, okay. Yes. But even if you don't, I
rely on the community around me to tell me what is good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, but But hold on, first it was you, now it's the community. You're all over the place. So.
Well, you are a part of the community. You are, you are the community.
Well, that's
you are an individual member.
Again, that's if you rely on the community, then in Nazi Germany you'd be running trains to the concentration camps, right?
Well, that's what people were doing.
And that was wrong.
It was.
Okay. The question is, what's going to prevent us from doing that again?
You could do the same thing with God.
Of course you can pervert what is true. It does not make what is true wrong. What is true is eternal. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have any gods above
me. I say all
me.
this, but I mean, the American government will go bomb a,
Fair enough.
whatever.
That means they're not living up to the standard. It doesn't make the standard not true.
I just think the standard is something impossible to reach.
Is it impossible, or is it necessary to set for us to strive as close as possible to?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank you.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree. It's a good to set a good.
It's a good telos, a good
I
thing
guess
to
so,
strive
but
for.
Listen, but wait. But not everything Christianity says is perfect. That's the thing.
Well, look, I'm happy to defend Christianity, but what I will say, I'm saying even if you just acknowledge, anybody, that there is a better way to live, that is a win. That there is a way that humans ought to live and ways that we should probably avoid. That is at least a refutation of postmodernism, which is what is dominating the land today.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. That's where you started.
I mean, I just think it's just this whole good versus evil is just so arbitrary.
That's very Nietzschean, but it's not.
I respect that.
I'm going to say something radical, okay? A child put in an oven is not subjective. That is morally reprehensible no matter what culture, no matter where you come from. I don't care about your history. I don't care about your shared experience. That's evil.
I agree with you, but you
know why? Because all of a sudden something other than your reason is kicking in, which is your soul.
Because
yes, it is. Because we know at a soul level, it's wrong to put kids in ovens, okay?
But not everyone around the world would agree with that, unfortunately.
Well, they're evil. Thank you. That's an evil thing.
Okay, then we're back at good versus evil. What is that? Black versus white.
Okay, so we could, again, I would say the good is that which is perfected in being.
Okay.
All right?
That's your personal definition.
Well, no, it's Aristotle's, but that's okay.
Gotcha.
So pretty important to creating the West, right?
Okay.
But if we build up from that, we understand the greatest thinkers of the West, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, they started with what is good? And they spent their whole life asking that question.
Yeah.
How often do college kids ask that question?
Rarely.
That's a problem.
Most people rarely think that, though.
That's what I'm getting at, is that if you do not honor that there's something above you, something beautiful, something transcendent, even the possibility, the idea of it, I call it religious. You could call it,
community, that's what I would call it.
But so philosophos, philosophy, the love of wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge of things that don't change. We rarely teach kids things that don't change. We teach them things that do change. Knowledge is important. Wisdom is eternal. Wisdom is, what's the best way to live? Are human beings good or bad? What is justice? What should the punishment be for a stolen Snicker bar versus murder? These are the most important questions, right? And we don't contemplate them nearly enough at universities.
The thing is with that is just like the way the world is today, where things are so changing so fast. It's just hard to root something.
Hold on, let's go. Are they changing fast, or are they staying the same faster?
Well, going more into that.
Are we better people because we can fly from Phoenix to New York and have Wi-Fi and Twitter, or are we more of the same just in an accelerated way?
I'd say it amplifies who we really are.
Bingo. So we don't change, it just speeds it up. So shouldn't we discover who we are, the nature of man, which is what Aristotle did in his Ethics. He did it better than almost anybody else, that there's an ascendance of virtues, right? The ultimate being courage. The goal of humanity being happiness. He had a word called eudaimonia.
Yeah, feelings don't change. We all feel the same.
Sort of. You're getting close. Yeah, but this is what I'm getting at.
How you feel that changes.
No, that's how you feel.
You can feel happiness,
Yes.
you know, looking at the sun, watching the sunset. But nowadays, the way we can feel that has changed.
Sure.
The way we feel, the way we
changes
think
slightly, yeah. But
we are still fundamentally the same.
Yes, and then we want to learn what that fundamentally the same thing is. Thank you, man. I want to get to other people. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You were you started rough, and then we got somewhere. Thank you.
I just want to start off by saying that it's always great to be politically active than to not be politically active. So I thank you for that. But I do want to start off by saying earlier I was outside protesting, as I usually do on campus, with a sign that says, "Tear the fascists down." Now, for those who don't know what fascism is, it's an ideology associated with Nazism. As I had this sign, not affiliated to anybody, I had a group of individuals come up to me saying openly they were fascists, attending your event, and called me the F word while at it. It's not lies. Now, I am not here to call you a fascist. I'm not. As I know you're not a Nazi sympathizer. You've never openly sympathized Nazism. I can see that. But people who openly call themselves fascists are here and are not afraid to admit they are fascists. So my question is, will you denounce fascism today, as the definition online puts it, as an ideology including racial nationalism and authoritarianism today?
Yes. Will you denounce Marxism as the greatest killer of human beings in the last 100 years?
Well, describe Marxism to me.
I'm sorry, what?
Describe Marxism to me.
The ideology that Mao Zedong, Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Lenin, and Pol Pot employed to the massacre of over 100
million. It did kill millions of people. You're right. Correct.
Okay, so I'll denounce fascism. You denounce Marxism. Yeah?
Well, I would have to say, like, by definition. No. Hold on. So my thing is that, was it Marxism itself, or was it a materialistic condition that caused that? Because as Marxists, what we do say is that there's material conditions that contribute to society. Now, you probably aren't familiar with dialectical materialism. I'll try to explain it real quickly.
No, I've read the Phenomenology of Spirit, and I know Hegel. But
okay.
No, but tell me, but why not denounce Marxism? I mean, so Mao Zedong, Marxist, Lenin, Marxist, Joseph Stalin, Marxist?
I'll denounce Joseph Stalin for you, definitely, yes. Joseph Stalin was an authoritarian leader who definitely killed millions of Ukrainians during the export of grain to, of course, build up their economy.
But there's nothing about, you don't think there's anything about the ideology that leads to the suffering, impoverishing, or the murdering?
Well, just like how Hitler called himself a socialist, it's not the ideology, it's just what you actually do in practice.
Yes, he did call himself a socialist.
Yeah.
But he was not a Marxist.
He was not, yeah.
But the National Socialist Workers' Party is the actual name of Nazism. But where has Marxism ever worked?
Well, I wouldn't say that Marxism itself has ever actually been tried. Now, of course, you can always say, like, oh, like, you know, that's an easy communist getaway question to it, right?
Well, but Marxism has killed a lot more people than Hitler. Everywhere it's tried, it results in famine, impoverishing, death, destruction. I mean, every failed country on the planet right now, including North Korea, is some form of a Marxist dictatorship.
Well,
so why is it hard to denounce that? Because it's easier for me to denounce fascism. Why the struggle to just say, you know, Marxism, bad, evil, end of story? Why can't we agree on that?
Well, because if you look at, I'll give the example of North Korea. What we did is that we went in there during the Korean War and destroyed all their factories, right? Now, what did this leave? This left an impoverished society where they now had no means to, of course, get their needs because their factories were destroyed. So that's number one on why North Korea. Now, I don't like North Korea. I'm just saying that's one reason why.
Has nothing to do with the Marxist leader? Nothing?
He's not a Marxist leader. I wouldn't consider himself a Marxist leader.
So what ideology is his?
So the ideology of Marxism is simply that workers own the means of production. The workers in North Korea do not own the means of production.
Would they have private property rights in North Korea?
They don't.
Then who owns the means of production?
The government does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in a Marxist society,
that would be Marxism?
No, it's not, because the workers own the means of production, not the government.
But who is the government?
The government is the people, the bureaucrats.
Oh,
the bureaucrats who control the power.
Okay, and that would be the people, the bureaucrats owning the means of production, otherwise known as Marxism?
No. You're getting it all wrong. Literally, the word definition of Marxism is that workers own the means of production.
Right. So where has that ever been tried or worked? You say it's never been tried ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it. So even though the hammer and sickle and core Marxist ideology has been invoked repeatedly by these leaders, you're saying, no, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. No, not a Marxist. Over 100 times it has been tried on every single continent, from Mugabe in Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, to parts of India, to China, to Korea, to parts of Eastern Europe, to Central and South America, to Venezuela. None of that is Marxist, even though they say they're Marxist.
Well, it's tampering with Marxism because you have sanctions and you bomb their countries. So, I mean, if you want to call that Marxism, then if you sanction and bomb them, I guess that's Marxism.
Wait, so how have we sanctioned and bombed these like Venezuela?
Like Venezuela has sanctions to where we don't buy their oil anymore.
Yeah, why do you think we're sanctioning them?
Because they have Marxist ideologies that don't incorporate with capitalist ideology.
Well, yeah, they're also like a quasi-terror state. But let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela used to be rich and prosperous when they had the private ownership of minerals. Why is Venezuela now one of the poorest countries in South America? What ideology caused that?
See, but that's the thing, though. It's not the ideology, it's the practice. Now, you could say the practice is Marxism, but again, do the workers own the means of production in that country?
Somebody does.
Yeah, somebody does, but not the workers.
Yeah, the government owns. So, I mean, in like the purest form of Das Kapital Marxism, it is the government that comes in and abolishes private property. Correct?
This is, of course, called, I think, the dictatorship of the proletariat, I think is what you're referring to.
Right. So
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So you believe in this like abstract Marxism that you don't ever want to denounce, even though it's been tried 100 times.
But again, you say try, but we just said that it hasn't been tried because workers haven't owned the means of production.
Okay. Well, why do you think that is? Because they use the swan song of Marxism, and Marxism will always result in an oligarchy or a dictatorship. Because you know why? It's impossible to quote unquote have the workers owns the means of production because we don't share well as human beings. That's why only someone that has, and with all possible due respect, an infant understanding of human nature can think communism can work because we're self-interested at our core. And you have an economic system that is built not on private property but on quote unquote shared goods. You're going to have a dictator on top of it that is going to exploit and terrorize. And so you started this conversation by asking me to denounce fascism, which is responsible for about 10 to 15 million deaths, said ideology. I'm pleading you one more time to denounce Marxism that is responsible for minimum 100 to 120 million deaths.
Okay, academics have proven that wrong. That's not true. That's from the Black Book of Communism. That has
How many people did Mao kill?
Mao killed about 30 to 40 million.
How many people did Stalin kill?
Stalin killed about 20 to 30 million.
Okay, now we're at like 60 million, and I just named like 2 countries, man. Okay? So like we're out of the gate, and we're at like 60 million, okay?
Yeah.
So I can keep on going, right, if you want to talk famine, impoverishing, lowering of standard of living. But what I want to just reiterate as we close this out, there's this pathological fascination with fascism, and a complete ignoring that Marxism, which is the other side of the authoritarian coin, has been far deadlier, far more costly, and is far more popular. And I'll ask this final question. What do you think has a greater chance of catching on in America, fascism or Marxism?
I would say fascism.
Okay. You really think so?
I really do believe that.
Okay. The only way I would possibly agree with that is the left-wing fascists that shut up people on campuses and allow, try to stop freedom of speech. But it's just, I'm perplexed by your position and your inability and your unwillingness to denounce Marxism. I don't know how many, maybe another 100 million people dead, maybe you'd change your mind.
Thank you.
Thanks.